All right, everybody. Class is in session. I don't know why you want to believe this is real, but here we go. So the guy's gonna get up. He opens it, looks like a nail file, but right? Yes, he makes it look a little physical. Throws the hat off. Now all the stabbing or whatever was up here, right? So I don't see one drop of blood. Nothing. I see some blood on from probably a packet he opened up. But look, when she gets up, there should be blood all here on the seat, but no. Right there where she was sitting. Did he stab her down there? Was it that time of the month? It makes no sense. And look, she's strong enough to have her hand up here, which is amazing. Look, she's gripping onto the thing. Okay, so let's go to part 2. Let's open this up. Now watch how fake this is. Watch. She's falling down. She's falling. There's that blood again, right? Now look, her hand is still up there. Now she's going to reach for something here. Look, she's reaching for something. Look. And then her hand, and then she squirts whatever the fuck that was. Blood doesn't work that way, right? Why did it stop squirting? Because it was in a packet. Guys, this is so fucking easy. Up. Now watch how fake this is. Watch. She's falling down. She's falling. There's that blood again, right? Now look, her hand is still up there. Now she's going to reach for something here. Look, she's reaching for something. Look. And then her hand, and then she squirts whatever the fuck that was. Blood doesn't work that way, right? Why did it stop squirting? Because it was in a packet. Guys, this is so fucking easy. And then the guy comes here with a cowboy hat on. I hope I didn't miss him ready. There it is. Pentagram. There's your pentagram. Devil worship. What happened to all that? Look, the blood exploded out and it just stood there still. Where's all the blood? How did she have the power to reach for whatever that was? Up there, I wish I could go back. I can't go back, but you'll see it. Okay? Guys, for those of you that want to believe it, Benny, hold this. For those of you guys who want to believe it, I don't know why you want to believe it. It's divide and conquer. It's the same old shit. If I thought this was really troubling, I wouldn't have my 7-year-old recording this. But he already knows that it's all what, Benny?
Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. I am the brother Chaya from GMS, Indianapolis, the branch of Indiana. The original Gary campus, GMS, it will not tarry too. And I'm going to read this comment from Yahweh the One, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11 in the NLT. It's the same scripture that was posted next to the video in the CEB version. But this one says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Okay? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he has a pattern, all right? Like the apostles, they like to quote Eustace Mullins, which says these people are not particularly smart. They just have algorithms and patterns and equations that they constantly implement, right? And in these last days, things are getting very sloppy. This is Job 5 and 13. It says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. All right, now who are the froward? All right. Pathal, right? Show unsavory. All right. Read something down here. To be crafty, deceitful, to act perversely or deceitfully. All right. Now, wasn't that deceitful? Now, when you look up, so we know who the forward is, the elites that rule behind the scenes, that influence the opinions of the people, so they can act in a way that so the people can respond in a way that the elites want them to respond, and they can usher in and forward their agenda. But the scripture says their counsel is of the forward is carried headlong. So let's look carried headlong up, right? Mahar in the Hebrew, to hasten, to be hurried, to be anxious, hasty, so they're rushing, all right? And what happens when you rush? You get sloppy, all right? And let's read some stuff down here, all right? Let me see. All right, it says the counsel of the cunning. I'm at towards the last paragraph, third line on the last paragraph. The counsel of the cunning is headlong, i.e., being hastily executed. It is frustrated. See, hastily executed. It was frustrated. So, in the process of trying to hide. All right. In the process of Esau Edom trying to divert your attention, he's getting sloppy. In Jeremiah 49:10, it says, but I have made Esau bare. All right, you exposed. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. See, you can't hide. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. In times past, it would take months, years, even decades for him to be exposed, for him to be caught up in the lie. But by the time it would happen, people will pretty much have moved on. But now you're getting caught up quicker and quicker and quicker. I looked up some on Chat GPT just to, I looked up, in death, explain the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. All right. Let me see. The counsel. This word denotes not just casual advice, but deliberate, strategic planning or advice, often a scheming or advisory plot. It implies intentionality, like a blueprint for action. See? In the context of Job 5, it refers to the calculated designs of those who oppose the Most High or the righteous, echoing the devices, meaning purposes or enterprises, mentioned in the preceding verse, Job 5:12. Commentators like Gill note that this is well-contrived schemes, highlighting the sophistication behind these plans. That's why Psalms 64 says what? Verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, right? Of the forward means to twist, to twine, or to spin. Evokes those who are twisted or entwined in their thinking, crooked, perverse, deceitful, or cunningly evasive. It's not mere stubbornness, but a moral and intellectual perversion, like a wrestler who twists and turns to gain an unfair advantage, such as wind and turn every way as wrestlers do. And this is Grok, pardon me, this ain't ChatGPT. And will leave no means untried. All right. In English, forward, an old term for obstinate or willfully contrary, captures this, but modern translations like the NIV, Wiley, or NASB clarify the sly, scheming connotation. So they are willfully contrary. What is that, Isaiah 26:10? It says, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. He is willfully contrary to the Most High. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. He will not implement the law, statutes, and commandments. He will What the scripture say? He left off from doing good. Let me see. Let me see. Right, Psalm 36:3. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. So he don't give a damn what the Bible said, what the Lord said. Verse 4. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. And his witchcraft isn't working anymore. All right? That's why he's getting caught every which way. All right? What is that? Isaiah 47. Because the media it still is, but not to the same effect, but was a very great and sharp tool for them to manipulate the masses. Even one of the Rothschilds, they even thanked the media years ago because they said without it, they wouldn't have been able to reach the height that they've reached. All right. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment. In one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and they have many, many various different sorceries. And for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And when you look up the word enchantment, one of the words is incantation. And an incantation is something you say over and over again. So when you look up Operation Mockingbird, what different media outlets, especially on the TV, they would say the same thing. If it's CBS, MSNBC, Fox, they would say the same phrases word for word in different states and different cities. All right. Same exact thing. The same incantation. But now, and in times past, the Lord have brought up alternative information, alternative media through his men, through the prophets, all right, and even through other sources. All right. Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. But now you're being seen. So the fact that you're being seen now, you just gotta rely and go to the sword now. Because when the lies don't work, what did it say? Theodore Roosevelt, the big stick diplomacy phrase is speak softly and carry a big stick. So when your words don't work, then you got the ultimate weapon. You have a greater weapon than the people you're trying to smooth over, the people you're trying to deceive. When you can't deceive them anymore, well, you got the weaponry. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Right? This is how he knows his time is short. All right? If things keep going the way it's going, then too many people of the majority going to know who the problem is. And that's Amalek. All right? Let me see if they got more on this. It's carry headlong from the root mahar, meaning to hasten or to hurry. All right. The counsel is hurried along or precipitated in a reckless, uncontrollable manner. Carried headlong vividly suggests being swept away like a torrent, dashed against rocks, or thrown head first from a cliff, resulting in sudden ruin. quickly thwarted, cut off, suddenly, or hasten. Young's literal translation, all underscoring abrupt failure. It says, Barnes' note on the Bible, 19th century, explains it as precipitated or hastened, implying the plan's boomerang due to overeagerness or divine acceleration toward doom. So, with that, Lord's will, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Hakodash, Shalom.